Peter Mandelson in 1999 said Labour's working class voters had nowhere else to go. Well, in the recent election in Hartlepool, Labour's working class voters have found somewhere else to go. Peter Mandelson has taken to the airwaves to blame what he's called the two C's, COVID and Corbyn. On COVID, we're being told that the vaccine bounce is the reason that the Conservative Party are doing so well. But that doesn't explain why the Green Party have taken council seats from the Labour Party, and then the other C, Corbyn. Jeremy Corbyn held Hartlepool in 2017 and 2019. The general election in 2017 is the first election since 1997 that Labour has won more seats, but it's treated with a pariah status that the right of the Labour Party want to pretend never happened. Busy trying to relive the 90s, Keir Starmer thought that it would be a brilliant idea to wheel out Peter Mandelson.
It's great to be back in Hartlepool.
At the same time that they were running a national campaign against Boris Johnson on the issue of sleaze. This man, Peter Mandelson, is kind of like an icon for sleaze. It was just incredible to see this almost like clown car operation from the people who posed as the professionals, the sort of grown-ups who said that they were back in charge of the Labour Party. Starmer and those within his camp have spent the last year of his leadership waging a war on the left of the party, rather than taking the fight to the Tories, who have literally got away with murder. We shouldn't forget that 150,000 people have died over the course of this pandemic. While Labour have been talking about Boris Johnson's wallpaper, we haven't held the government to account.
He's not scoring open goals.
I've said I'll support the government. We've supported the government. Then I support the government in doing something about that.
God, man, if this is a drinking game and you drank every time you said I support the government, you'd be like passed out by now, wouldn't you?
It's confusing me now. I thought he was Labour.
While Keir Starmer's busy spending his time telling everybody that he isn't Jeremy Corbyn and not setting out who he is, the Conservative Party are selling a vision to the country and to working class communities such as those in Hartlepool and in the North and the Midlands of a party that wants to see investment pumped into those communities. And we've seen that in the course of these election results. You had Keir Starmer turning up to a pub at 11 o'clock in the morning to pose with a pint, over Boris Johnson turning up into the constituency, and he might be telling a pack of lies when he talks up about the levelling up agenda. But their message is stronger for people. And the Tories have even adopted Corbyn and McDonnell's language. They're talking about the Green Industrial Revolution. They're talking about Northern investment banks moving the Treasury to the north of England and selling it to people who are then going out and voting for it in their droves.
What made Labour voters defect to the Tories or other parties? The most popular reasons given were Keir Starmer and Labour's policies, or lack of them.
There is nothing to celebrate off the back of these election results. A Tory party that serves the interests of the incredibly wealthy and the incredibly powerful, cementing itself in working class communities. If the Labour Party stops taking the piss out of working class people, then maybe, just maybe, working class people will stop taking the piss out of the Labour Party. And that means the working class in its entire diversity. Yes, it's working class voters in Scotland, Hartlepool, the North East, the Midlands, who have rejected the party. But it's also young working class people in the cities who are starting to think that maybe the Labour Party isn't for them. And if Labour ends up in that position where it's losing voters from across its entire coalition, then it's doomed to failure. If you want to hear alternative analysis to the likes of Peter Mandelson, or to analysis that quite frankly is stuck in the 1990s, then make sure you become a patron to Double Down News, where all of this sort of alternative analysis and great new ideas are allowed to thrive.